Hello, Internet! Shalthis here, and it is time for another episode of the Engram here on gkick.net, on iTunes, and of course on YouTube. So, with this week's episode, I want to talk about the latest weekly update, and a few changes that have been announced as far as when these updates are going to happen. So, first and foremost, the weekly updates are now going to happen on Thursdays, which means I'm going to try to get these shows done on Fridays, because usually the weekly updates come really late in the day. So expect that on Fridays. I'm going to try to do that. I'm having a hard time getting my webcam working on the other profile of my computer. It's a long story, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, with this weekly update and the change to the schedule of when it's released and everything, there has been some new information that has come out as a result of this as a result of this update. So, first off, we are getting a little more information about Iron Banner 2.0. Now, I went into depth on this function a few weeks back when they initially announced a lot of these details, but with this particular patch of information, it recaps some of the stuff we already knew and gave a little more extra detail to kind of explain it a bit. Now, if you were playing the game a few weeks ago, then you probably saw that the Iron Banner event suddenly appeared and then disappeared during maintenance one time. Now, that was obviously not a correct rollout. It was still using the old Iron Banner settings and everything, so it was not quite what they were hoping to do. It was not intentional. Now, with this rollout, just to kind of recap some of the stuff I talked about in a previous video, so you have to be level 20 to either participate solo or lead a fire team into Iron Banner. Players who are below level 20 can still accompany their higher level friends, but you're going to be pretty much annihilated if all of this information is accurate and actually plays out this way. So the idea now is that if you are within 3 levels of another player, that's where you're going to find the competition, which basically means you probably want to be around level 26 or 27 to stand much of a chance in Iron Banner. Anything other than that, and you're probably going to get wrecked, or at least be at a bit of a disadvantage. Because it does still come down to skill, like any PvP does. Now, to kind of keep that in mind and why you're going to want to use your best armor, your defense rating will directly impact how much damage you take. Your attack rating will directly impact how much damage you deal. So, the best gear, the highest leveled, everything like that, is what you're going to want to bring into battle. So, even if your level's a bit low, if your weapon is fully upgraded, you could still stand a very credible chance inside Iron Banner. Now, Lord Saladin is going to have 5 ranks that you can obtain throughout winning games and earning reputation. And if you participated in the previous Iron Banner event, not the 1 day off thing that happened a few weeks ago, but the original 1 week long Iron Banner event, your previous rank will be maintained into this week. However, it will reset every Iron Banner event going forward. So they wanted to at least let those players who participated under the old system keep that rank for this new round, and then you can go from there. Now, in order to gain reputation, they are introducing a buff called Tempered. And Tempered is a 12-hour buff that increases your Iron Banner rep gains. Now, you can either use that buff right away, or if you're late to the game, or if you don't participate all week long, you can do it later in the event to try to catch up and get that high rank early, or later, I should say. Now, you can get, obviously, exclusive rewards through Iron Banner. You can reforge different weapons that you've obtained through Iron Banner to reset your progression and get new perks, things like that. There are new gauntlets and boots that will be available to help get you to level 30. So, that's going to be nice. A little bit of an alternate route to get that high level gear. And they've also tried to focus a lot on or kind of not making it incentive for people to quit the game, or to quit Iron Banner matches. So, obviously you're only going to get reputation if you win. If you lose, however, you will get an Iron Medallion. You can carry up to 5 of those at a time, and the next time you win an Iron Banner match, you will gain a good amount of reputation for each medallion you have. So you will get all of that right away. Again, like I said, all of your rep is going to reset at the end of the event, and every time the event rolls around, you'll have to start from rank 0. So they're hoping to give players 24-hour notice before the Iron Banner event goes live, but, you know, who knows? Might just be a surprise. Another thing that they are going to be introducing actually tomorrow, as a matter of fact, is a new update that's going to be one of many updates that'll be coming this month. But this one is going to introduce a beta test which will open up a new voice chat channel for players that you meet through matchmaking. So whether it's going to be through Strikes or through Crucible, you'll have this voice channel that you can use to communicate with all of your newfound friends. So you can use it, you don't have to use it, but if you want to have that extra edge when it comes to communication with your team, then that is what's going to happen. And last part of the weekly update is something that really doesn't have any details yet. And they mentioned that next week they're going to, which probably be this week, I guess, if you count it as Sunday, they're going to be revealing something that has been kept a secret. And if you have an expansion pass, whether you got it through the collector's edition or separately, then you're going to get a special surprise. And they have not revealed any details about what it's going to be. But they finish off that statement by saying, "We want to make sure that you traverse the next leg of your journey in outrageous style." So we'll have to see. I'm interested to see exactly what we're going to get by having that expansion pack. But in any event, the thing that has me the most excited, obviously, about this weekly update is the news about Iron Banner 2.0. And I know I talked about this a few weeks back, but the fact remains that Iron Banner, and I talked about the original Iron Banner too prior to that, Iron Banner is a very flawed, or was a very flawed mode, in the sense that it was clearly built around being a more competitive PvP option for high-end players. It was kind of like the end game of PvP. That was what the intent behind it was, because the focus was supposed to be your gear mattered. And at the end of the day, your gear really didn't matter, because the level discrepancy where you could still be effective in Iron Banner was huge. And it shouldn't be that way. That's what Crucible is for. Crucible is there to be the, if you want to PvP at any level, you can. That's what Crucible should be. But Iron Banner should be, okay, I'm at the end game now. I've got really good gear. Now I want to take the next level of PvP. And that's what Iron Banner should be. So a lot of these changes they've made, reducing the level span in which you're competitive, increasing the effectiveness of gear, and giving a lot more additional rewards and such, that is what's necessary here. So you could get players who are kind of like glass cannons in this mode too, which is very interesting. You know, maybe they don't have the best armor, but they've got a really powerful weapon that they've fully upgraded. So that makes them really dangerous to attack. Like, they'll be really dangerous on the offense, but you can probably kill them pretty effectively. So there's a lot of interesting ideas here. And I'm hoping that when it goes into effect, players are going to be a lot more receptive. I didn't actually participate in the last Iron Banner because I was still leveling, and I thought it was this type of Iron Banner and not what it actually was. But I only started PvPing fairly recently. I haven't played in a little while because I kind of jacked up my thumb here. I don't know if you can really tell. Got it caught in a ladder, and yeah, still recovering. So gaming is not currently an option unless I'm properly medicated. But I'm hoping it clears up by at least in a couple days, or at least gets better, because I've got other games I need to play. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Engram. I will be back after the next weekly update. We will talk more. Of course, if there's any major revelations that happen over the course of a week, I will always do a spot show to kind of follow up on that stuff. But yeah, so that should do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back next time. Take care, and happy hunting, Guardians. For my YouTube viewers, here is your moment of zen.
Before I found you, I had a dream that I'd found you. That came from the moon.